2000 onwards, there was like being much reported in Pakistan that the Russian president, as we all know, that the Russian head of the state has never visited Pakistan on an official state visit. So after 2000, we could see like an opportunity or like a possibility that the Russian president Vladimir Putin or the Dmitry Medvedev, they could visit Pakistan, they could visit Islamabad to strengthen the bilateral relationships between the two countries. But like in 2000, as I can remember, in 2017 or 18, it was being reported in certain media circles of Pakistan and South Asia that Kremlin and the political circles in Kremlin, or you can say the bureaucratic circles there, they are like they're not that much like into establishing great relations with Pakistan, or they kind of bureaucratic hurdles in both ways in Pakistan as well as in Russia. So, and moreover that there's a kind of, as we all know, like US interference in the domestic affairs of every country, including Pakistan. So that is also hurdling. There's also, like you can say, a barrier in the way of deeply strengthening the relations between the two countries, between Moscow and Islamabad. So, sir, what is your take on that?
No, I'm sorry, I'm a specialist in Middle East, in Turkey, but not in Pakistan. I don't know the real situation, what is it, but as I see the foreign policy of our countries, as I see the program of our minister, Sergei Lavrov, he visits usually many countries, and small countries, big countries, and Pakistan is very important for us also, and I hope that it's possible, it's really possible to organize, to develop our international relations, our the relations between Russia and Pakistan, and I hope, why not? I think that it's possible to organize the visit. But really, I don't know because I'm not interfered in this. Now I work on culture, and I have never been a specialist in the relations between Russia and Pakistan.
Okay, sir. As we can see, that Russia has a huge, vast natural resources, for example, gas, oil, and energy resources. So, in the Russian foreign policy, how do you see the use of these resources, like the energy resources, as you can say, as the future of the Russian Federation, the future of the foreign policy, the international politics of the Russian Federation?
No, usually it was from the beginning of 90s. So our goal was to establish a good and equal relations with all states. So we support the liberal economic system all over the world. We think that we can sell our goods like oil, like gas, like many other things in all the countries of the world, and at the same time we have possibility to buy what do we want from other countries. And for example, in the beginning of 21st century, we had a very good system of relations with, we have good relations with Europe, and in trade we send gas, it was profitable for us. We bought different products from Europe, and it was also profitable for Europe and for Russia. But unfortunately, I don't know why, but the world, especially the Western world, rejected from this good system, and they organized some sanctions against Russia, not only against Russia, but against other countries also. And they say that these sanctions can improve the situation in Russia, can change our foreign policy. And but how? I see that never sanctions influenced the foreign policy of the states. Look, for example, Turkey was also on sanctions, on the Western sanctions during the crisis on Cyprus. We know that Yugoslavia was on sanctions, and usually who suffered from this? Common people, but not the foreign policy, not the heads of the state. And so I think it's it's not a good way to influence the state, and this situation is not goes for the really good the improvement of the relations between Russia and other countries.
Okay. So at last, my last question is about for the common Pakistani people, because for example, in the media, or in you can say the social media circles, Russia is presented just as a military might or as a political power. But like Russia has much more things to offer. For example, it is a multicultural society. It is a multicultural, multi-religious, multi-ethnic society. So I would like to ask you about that. I would like to please tell our audience the multicultural society of Russia, how diverse Russia is, what kind of ethnicities are living there, and how is their situation.
I think that it's our really powerful side, good side, that we can organize good relations between not only states but between people and religions and different ethnic groups and societies. I think that the same, yes, some other states who were who had also this system like this, like Ottoman Empire, for example, or British Empire or Austrian Empire, they had also this experience, but we still have this experience nowadays. About 80% of our population is Russian speaking and Russian, but at the same time we have more than 150 nationalities. We have different religions. For example, different forms of Christianity, officially, no, not officially, but historically, we are based on the Orthodox version of Christianity. But at the same time, for us, Islam, especially Sunni Islam, is very important because of some states which were developed on the territory of modern Russia, of nowadays Russia, like Kazan, Hanat, and or states of the Northern Caucasus. And for them, their traditional religion is Sunni Islam. But at the same time, we have Buddhism in Tuva, in Buryatia region, for example. We have different kinds of Islam. For example, we have some Shi'i people. We have different mazhabs of Islam. For example, in Caucasus, most popular is Shafi'i mazhab, but in Volga region, in Tatarstan, Sunni Hanifi mazhab, also different kinds of Christianity, and so this gives us a very good experience, not only to care this system, because it's our heritage, and we have to care this system. For example, we have a very special system of supporting national languages. Usually people, they forget about their own language and they try to speak Russian, but at the same time we have schools in native languages, and we support it with publishing books, TV programs on their own languages, and so on. It's really very difficult, but we are proud of this heritage, and we will continue supporting this system. Because it's really better than oil and gas, because it is the real human culture, and it gives the culture of Russia the possibility to talk with difficult people, different people in different languages. That's why I think the culture of Russia is very high level. All people in the world know Russian writers, Russian cinema, Russian ballet, and other things. And also, what do we do here in the Russian Culture Center? We try to show Russian culture to other people, because this culture has a very understandable multinational character. And that's why, for example, Dostoevsky, our writer, he is well known and understandable for people in all languages, all cultures, because he is a humanist, and so for Muslims, for Christians, for Buddhists, he is also understandable. Not only Dostoevsky, but I think that all our culture.
So, sir, we are sanguine that the bilateral relations between Pakistan and Russia will be much strengthened in the future, and the region, the whole Eurasian region, and the whole SCO region will develop further, and the life will develop further. There will be economic and human progress, human development. So, thank you very much for giving us your precious time.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to be here with you. It's a great pleasure to be in the Russian Center for Ankara.
So, thank you very much. you asked me about St. Petersburg and Moscow. What is the difference? You say that St. Petersburg has more historical architecture. It is not so. St. Petersburg was founded only in 18th century, so architecture is quite new. But Moscow is much more old city, but there is a difference. For example, this is Kremlin. This is the very center of Russia. So, and here we can see this red one. This is a fortress which was built in 16th century by Italian architect. And when you go to Italy, to Milano, for example, or to Florence, you will see that in Milano, for example, they have many architectural forms like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is the traditional Russian architecture. This is yes, our churches and bell tower in the Russian traditional style. It's 15th century. And this is the modern style in one place. This is hotel which was built in the 60s in the Soviet Union times. And this is 19th century architecture. Yeah. This is Moscow. Everything in one place. Yeah. The mixture. But in St. Petersburg it is not like this. In St. Petersburg we have the historical center, which is built on the plan. It was planned by the architects, and that's why you go through the complex, to the architectural ensemble, and it looks much more suitable to the place.
Is this the Moscow River?
Yes, Moscow River, yes.
Thank you very much.
See you.